Hello. Our portrait festivals have uncovered some incredible artistic talent across Britain over the last few weeks.
This week, it's Ireland's turn.
We're 3 weeks into our search for the Sky Arts Portrait Artist of the Year. Our competition opened earlier this year when we asked you to send us your self-portraits. Nearly 2,000 of you applied, and our 3 expert judges invited the best artists to compete at our portrait festivals across Britain and Ireland.
Today, 21 finalists from Ireland will be painting famous sitters for a chance to win the title.
It's such an amazing opportunity to even get through.
I'm shaking so much I feel like I'm dancing.
The winner of the London heat of Portrait Artist of the Year. Previously, Louis Morris won at our London festival in Trafalgar Square with his painting of actor Juliet Stevenson. And Ewan McClure won at our Scottish festival at Kelvin Grove Art Gallery and Museum with a portrait of Paralympian Michael Kerr.
The 4 regional winners will take part in a grand final at the National Portrait Gallery, where one artist will be selected to win a dream commission. They'll be given £10,000 to paint Hilary Mantel, one of the most successful authors of our age. The portrait will hang at the British Library.
So, who's got what it takes to win the Irish heat of Sky Arts Portrait Artist of the Year? Welcome to the Royal Dublin Society, where 21 Irish portrait artists are nervously preparing to meet their sitters.
In a moment, we'll find out how their nerves are faring. But first, let's meet the judges who selected them.
Our first judge, Tai-Shan is one of the most respected living portrait artists. He's painted everyone from Seamus Heaney to the Queen.
Our second judge, Kate Bryan, is head of contemporary at one of the oldest art dealerships in London.
And our final judge, Kathleen Soriano, is director of exhibitions at the Royal Academy. They'll use their knowledge of traditional and contemporary portraiture to select a winner from the 21 artists painting here today.
Until now, our judges have only seen digital images of the paintings with which artists enter the competition. Today, they're getting the chance to see them in the flesh. It's an opportunity for them to match the artist to their self-portrait.
I remember this one so well. I loved it. I mean, I really loved it. I just think it's really accomplished. She's doing something really different. The restraint, and then other areas where it's so full, and the shadows on the cheek. It's just it's a fantastic painting. She knows what she's doing. She's a mature painter.
It's beautiful colours. I find the expression slightly off-putting until I realise, of course, she's totally immersed in the activity of painting.
Yeah. This is rather startling.
Yeah. This was one of the only portraits that we received where someone had tried to do something expressionistic, which is really difficult because oftentimes you end up making yourself look like a caricature. But he managed to get away with it, particularly because of this very sort of scrunched brow of his.
But a lovely texture to the skin, a real sort of quality of the skin that he's managed to capture.
That's very soulful, isn't it?
It is, and there's a lovely watery quality to the eyes. Yeah. And then this fantastic, bold, brassy red watercolour.
Yeah. I love that.
I really like it.
It's really, really engaging with the viewer as well.
Looking deep into our souls.
Well, shades of John Bradbury here, isn't it?
That wild hair, it's fantastic. I love it.
Phil Spector.
Who's this guy in the clouds?
God. Van Gogh in the background.
I'm hoping he won't be hemmed in by the sets we've got for him. I mean,
well, actually, he might be able to tackle the sex more effectively than others have done.
Oh, because this is a set. If you look,
yeah, it's a strange construct.
Yeah, it's a painting behind him, possibly.
There's 10 minutes to go before our artists will meet their sitters for the first time. Their chance to see who they're up against.
That's fantastic work. It's a really high standard. So I'm not going in with any sense of, this is going to be really easy. It's not.
They're amazing. It's really varied. So it'll be interesting to see what everybody does today because there's so many different styles. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
My wife would describe me as competitive, yeah. When other people are doing good work around you, it sort of, that pushes you on more, you know? And it means you do better as well.
If you could choose any type of sitter, do you have a favourite? Would you rather paint male or female, or young or old?
I don't really mind. The people whom I like to paint the most are people who don't care a jot what I do.
So really you want someone who's ugly and doesn't mind?
I don't mind. I really don't mind, because everyone is beautiful in a way.
That is true.
Until this point, the artists have no idea who their sitters are going to be. Today, the judges have arranged for some well-known faces to step out of their usual roles and onto our sets.
Our first sitter is actress Pauline McLynn, best known as Father Ted's Mrs. Doyle. Today posing as she's never been seen before.
Will I assume the position?
Rapper Lethal Bizzle is also stepping out of his comfort zone today. He isn't used to sitting still or keeping quiet. For the next 4 hours, he'll have to do both.
Cool.
And our last sitter is actor David Rawle, who is the child star of the Sky comedy Moon Boy. So, artists, let me introduce Kathleen Soriano, who is the Director of Exhibitions at the Royal Academy, and she will be posing Pauline today.
Right. It's going to be a bit tricky, but let's get this out of the way. Right. You need to make yourself very comfortable because it's quite a long time to have your arm up.
Are you going to be able to keep this? Because what I like about it is that it's slightly off-centre, so he's got to kind of... so it's a bit more interesting for...
It was just an accident, but yeah, I'm cool. If this
Accidents are good. If it's comfortable, it's part of it. That's the way you would sit. And if this starts hurting, you're going to tell us we'll put something underneath it.
Yeah, cool.
OK, great. And obviously you're known for your fantastic role in Moon Boy, so we asked you to bring the hat. So do you want to pop your hat on? So has everyone got quite a good view of him? Yeah. Great. So I think the thing is just to try and keep as still as possible and enjoy your book.
OK, good.
Artists, you have 4 hours to paint your sitters.
You can now pick up your paintbrushes, your pens, your pencils, and get started. Good luck, everyone.
I'm always interested how some are very pleased to sort of get cracking and spoil that white space, and other people find a bit afraid of the empty space. But what I think the most important thing is they've got to get the structure right. They've got the drawing right, they've got to get the pose right. As an artist, I'm always very interested in how other people start working, so that's quite an eye-opener.
So, Kathleen, this looks very familiar to me, this pose. It's quite a famous one, isn't it?
Yeah, Pauline's been very clever. She actually studied art history at university.
What, in preparation for this show?
In preparation for the show.
That's fantastic foresight.
Managed to fit it in just before she got here.
Brilliant.
But she's based it on Velázquez's Roque Venus, which sits in the National Gallery in London. But, of course, the important thing in this painting is the presence of the mirror. You know, Venus is looking into the mirror. So it poses some challenges for the artist.
It's a courageous pose, though, isn't it?
She's a courageous lady.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And I think I'm quite excited that we've got a nude in it. It's something so classical about it.
Absolutely, and it'd be interesting to see what different approaches they take to it.
Now, David looks as though he's just sitting comfortably. So what thinking went into the pose?
Well, we wanted to do something which was childlike in the sense that he would sit and read, but at the same time I wanted to do something which had a maturity to it. He is quite mature for his age, you know, he's got this sort of old soul to him. So we've got this beaten-up chair, and he's sitting quite earnestly, you know, not throwing his legs around, just sitting quite still and quite quiet. It works beautifully, actually.
Tai, I'm not getting any clues from this pose. What's it all about?
Your art history isn't very good, is it? You know, there's a great tradition of the swagger portrait.
I've never heard of that.
The great and the good, sort of lit from a very strong sort of spotlight and sort of with great clothes flowing. Well, I've got a couple of examples here.
Right.
One is a prince. This is a Van Dyck of a cardinal. And I was thinking, well, what is the equivalent today? You know, who are the great and the good? They're our stars, you know. And it is a propaganda, you know, portraiture was always a propaganda tool, of course, and this is what, you know, we're trying to reenact.
Niall, one of the interesting things about this job for me is watching a portrait evolve.
Yeah.
At the moment, I don't know. This is just a back wash, is it?
That's right. Yeah. Just working on a background, so it's just to kind of loosen up and get the nerves out of me.
Okay. And this would be your normal method.
Yeah.
Have you had to modify your method a bit for the time constraints?
Oh yeah. I just had to totally change my game preparing for this. You know.
You know that thing, that Michelangelo thing? He said he would look at a big lump of marble and he could see the statue in there. That's what I'm trying to do with this now. We're an hour in, and Pauline's image has started to emerge from Niall's painting.
Not all artists are showing such quiet restraint. Some are forging ahead with reckless abandon. It's all part of the strange alchemy that goes into making a portrait. Either approach could triumph here today.
"21 artists have been painting actors Pauline McLynn and David Raw and grime artist Lethal Bizzle for over an hour."
Well,
It looks like Lethal Bizzle, and that's the start, isn't it?
Do you think it looks like Lethal Bizzle?
Yeah, I do. It's in your face, if you know what I mean.
Professional artist Maeve McCarthy, whose self-portrait so impressed the judges, has spent the first hour here today making dozens of sketches of her sitter.
And going right back to the very first thing I did, which sometimes that's what happens, you know, the first instinct.
Maeve isn't the only professional artist who's taking it slowly today. Philip Lindy also makes his living from painting, but is more used to working from his studio at home.
It's really weird. I mean, I haven't painted with other people in such a long time, you know, maybe 20 years. To have people beside you and kind of going, oh, that's really hard, isn't it? His feet keep moving or whatever. So it's kind of fun. Unlike most portrait painters, I tend to focus on people being foolish or frail or delicate or dumb. So my work's fairly silly, I suppose. I live here in County Galway with Shireen, my partner, and our two kids, Jack and Mia. My easel, it's kind of like home. It's just this thing that you just keep coming back to, the place where things go right for you, things go wrong for you. I've always had this division between being a painter and being a musician. My favourite guitar is older than me by 4 years, and it's just a lovely thing. Should the house burn down, I would run in and rescue that, then get the kids out.
Hi, Philip.
Hello.
Is it okay if I have a quick chat?
Absolutely.
How are you getting on?
Well, the chair's growing magnificently.
Yeah, I see there's this extraordinary chair that's sort of dwarfing him.
It's part of denial of the wallpaper, but I think it's a nice thing where the chair sort of grows around the reading child.
Yeah, it makes me think of The Borrowers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we're a quarter of the way through, more or less, and you haven't applied any paint yet.
No.
So
it's easy to paint really, really fast when you're sure of what it is you're doing.
Okay, so you want to feel really, really confident in your draftsmanship, and then you can apply the paint.
Yeah.
Well, I better let you get on with it.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
One artist taking a very bold approach to his painting of actress Pauline McLynn is 34-year-old Derek Cummins.
OK, so Derek, you've got this very aggressive technique with the brush, I've noticed now and again. You sort of almost like telling the canvas off when you were getting cross with it. Or is that just part of your normal approach to it?
Try to cover the canvas with as much paint as possible, otherwise you start to get a bit scared of the painting or something.
Is that how you normally work?
Yeah, and then refine it towards the end. I'm not very good at talking about painting. I prefer just to do the bloody thing, to be honest.
OK, well, good luck with it. Keep focused.
OK.
Yeah, and we'll come back to you later. Thanks. I'm really pleased, actually, because I think most of them made a really confident start. Derek's obviously wrestling, not just with the pose and the painting, but with his comfortableness, his happiness in this environment. It's a tough environment, it's a big ask for an artist. But there was a moment where I thought he was just going to put the canvas to one side and start all over again. And I think we may still see that happen, actually. He's actually gone beyond the pose and he's started to introduce his own self-portrait into the work. His work does take on a much more sort of psychological basis. So I think definitely he's someone that we need to keep an eye on.
Lethal Bizzles, he's a big fella, you know, he's got great presence, he's got a great structure, bone structure in his face, so that was great. He was wearing sunglasses as well, so I thought, oh, that'd be good if he kept them on, that'd be kind of cool, but he put them on top of his head, so that's all right though.
I feel kind of cool. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. When I got told I'm going to be sitting down for like 4 hours, I thought it'd be a bit of a walk in the park, and you know, I forgot that I can't stay still. The pose, it's quite comfortable for like 5 minutes, and then when you get to like 10, 15, your neck starts going, and then your ear starts going, and then your leg, you want to get a little stretch. It's quite comfortable. It could be worse, but yeah.
I've discovered I'm not as limber as I used to be in the old days. Yeah, my neck has nearly seized up entirely now, and my hand, which I've used to keep my head steady, is, kind of pins and needles. So I have new respect for all of the sitters throughout the centuries who have posed for artists.
It's very quiet and everybody's just kind of, and then you just kind of glance up at them and they'll be there smiling, painting away, and you're just basically reading and they're painting. You don't even notice them.
We're over halfway, and one artist has completely changed tack. Kyla Tomlinson has ditched her pastel pencil drawing of Pauline McLynn's head and started on a new composition in oil paint. Kyla.
Yes.
This is not what you were painting before. What happened?
Yeah, this is either incredibly stupid or quite brave. This is me starting again.
Why is that?
I just felt that I was getting frustrated with the first picture that I did. I felt it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go.
You changed your medium as well.
I've changed to oils, and sometimes you just have to dive in, take the risk.
But that's great that you actually took that decision. And what if it pays off?
Yeah, what if it does?
You'll be talented and brave. What better combination than that?
Yeah, you
because if it doesn't, you'll be talented now.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great. I shouldn't be keeping you because you're obviously up against the clock now.
The Royal Dublin Society is filling up with spectators. Some are taking advantage of the range of portrait-related activities going on here today. One of these activities is spray painting. Johnny McCurr, also known as JMK, has been demonstrating his skill since the beginning of the day. It's only now that a recognisable form is taking shape.
I came to speak to you earlier.
You did,
and I had no idea you had designs on me. And now it turns out you've been planning this.
Yeah, I've been studying your face for about a week, Joe.
How?
Just looking at photographs of you, you know.
Right.
All through your life.
You've even got my glasses in there. You've got the wrinkles very well.
I wanted to do the wrinkles, you know. A lot more interesting to paint, you know what I mean?
This is good to hear, you know.
Yeah.
I have to put it on a wall somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to have to go up somewhere, isn't it?
It's terrific. I'm very flattered. Thank you very much.
Joan, thank you. It's brilliant.
Johnny isn't the only one favouring a blue colour palette here today. Painting actress Pauline McLynn is 36-year-old professional artist Selena Mowat. Hello.
Hi.
Is this your blue period? Yeah. What do you think so far? What do you think of this portrait?
I think it's going okay.
I know it's hard to talk about your own work, but feel free to
No, I'm just
boast.
deciding now what to go with, what colours I'm going to go with.
You know what? I really like it the way it is.
Hi.
I'm not. Don't take my advice, but I love that sort of blue shadow feel to the whole thing.
I know.
And you've already got the lightness of her.
I'm originally from Inverness in Scotland. I've been living in Donegal for about 4 years now. A beautiful place full of fun-loving and friendly people. I'm in a band called the Apaches. I play the Spanish guitar. We describe our sound as music made from the tears of cowboys, so it's kind of dirty and it's very raw. My mother is a massive inspiration to me. She always taught me how to laugh and not take life too seriously. My childhood was spent listening to her laughing away in the kitchen and making jokes. She's a very big inspiration.
God, I think this when I look at this work so often. Don't do any more, because I'd like that on my wall the way it is. But like I say, I'm not one of the judges.
That's why I plug in so I can't hear anybody. Because people
Don't listen
say,
to
oh,
my
it looks good now, and then I think, oh no, where do I go next?
Yeah, it's all you can do now is ruin it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. Thanks, Fred.
I have the 3 judges with me here. Have you any favourites, Kathleen?
Yes, I love Selena's painting. She started just with one colour, blue, and she's really captured Pauline's likeness. So she's getting to the point now where she's getting ready to add the colour. So she's really shining, standing out for me.
Maeve had this fantastic start. She was doing lots and lots of different charcoal drawing, then started painting, and I feel like she's potentially a little bit behind, and I'm really hoping that she's able to pull something out of the bag. Because I just loved that self-portrait, so I would really like her to deliver something today.
What about you, Tai?
Call had started with a little tiny painting, and there was a blue of the background, and suddenly the head of Bizzle appeared, and it's a beautiful painting, because in this very small space, he's created great volume, and it's just, I think that's going to be one to watch out for.
I'm impressed. They all seem to know what they're doing. Yeah. Nobody's chancing their arm, but nobody's bewildered by what to do. They're all quite assured.
The artists who spent their morning making sketches and planning their compositions have now committed their ideas to canvas. Those who dive straight in now have to make a decision about when their paintings are finished. With just over an hour of the competition left to go, there's no going back for any of them.
Artists, you have 1 hour left to paint. The artists in Dublin today are tackling their portraits in a range of different mediums, from oils to pastels to charcoal to collage. One portrait is dividing opinion among our judges, and that's Derek Cummins' oil painting.
He's fantastic. He's obsessive.
It's not obsessive.
Yeah, he's filled that painting from left to right with detail, just loads and loads and loads of stuff.
She may as well not be there. It's not a portrait.
Come on, it's great. He's got himself in there. He's got another person, another artist in there. Her arm's a bit weird, but he's seeing something that he's chasing. So he's really into it. Although painting with shades on must be a bit difficult, you know?
Yeah.
You're not really, I don't know what you're seeing, but...
This is a very strange painting. Pauline's face is going to be a picture when she sees it.
Painting Bizzle today is 37-year-old professional artist Cole Casey. He's been shortlisted for many prestigious art competitions in the past, so it's perhaps no surprise that his portrait has caught our judge's eye.
I really love Cole's small painting.
As far as just sheer lightness is concerned, it's astonishing, isn't it?
It's lovely, and it's probably one of the most academic paintings we've had today.
What does that mean?
Academic painting is a traditional kind of painting. It comes from the academy painting of the 18th and 19th century.
Would they be encouraged to follow a very formal set of rules?
Yeah, certainly a set of rules about lighting, composition, pose, skin texture.
So do you think he's aware of that?
Certainly. I mean, you have to be, in order to be able to paint like that, there's a level of training that you would have had to have done, but at the same time, he's got a freedom to it, so he knows what he's doing.
It's going grand. I mean, I don't really have a plan. I just sit down and just get into it, you know, just lash into it, really. So, and see how it goes. And it's working okay. Normally, if I'm working in a studio, I'll work on it for 3 or 4 days really intensely and then make small adjustments here and there for a few months afterwards. So it is refreshing change from the studio as well. But I do go to live painting sessions, so I am kind of used to this setup. So that helps, you know.
Visitors to our Portrait Festival today include the friends and family of our artists. Philip Lindy's having to paint under the watchful eye of 2 of his sternest critics, daughter Mia and niece Alison.
He just has to do the flowers.
Oh, you want him to paint the background in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seriously, why won't he do it? Does his chair really have to be that big? Yeah. Seriously.
So you've requested him to paint the background?
Yeah.
What did he say?
No. That's what he said.
You're not enjoying the big chair?
No. Well, it's comical, sort of. But...
I kind of like it, though, because it's like he's lost in the world of reading. Do you ever feel like that when you've got a good book and you feel like the whole afternoon disappears and you're just lost in the book?
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful painting.
I know.
But we'll see. He's got an hour left to go, so we'll see what happens.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
It's the downhill dash now.
Right.
Feet on the handlebars, coasting down the hill.
What are you going to work on? What do you feel like you need to resolve?
Oh, an expression that's that particular needs quite a bit of care.
Yeah, I mean,
it
is very particular expression.
Yeah,
You're the only
really
one
is.
to have really done something so expressionistic with the face.
Yep.
Is that a trademark of yours, would you say? Your self-portrait had the same?
Yeah, it's true. I think you rarely see faces without any expression. Through art history, you know, you could count the good smiles on one hand.
Yeah,
you know.
or even laughing.
Oh, even rarer.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Franz Hals was good at that,
Yeah.
but not many.
Right, well, we could sit and talk all day about art history, but I better let you get on.
Okay.
Good luck.
It's going okay. I'm not sure. I'll see how I feel in an hour's time. There's time to completely destroy it still.
Professional artist Maeve McCarthy spent the morning sketching out her composition, but she's now forging ahead with her painting. She's had some success as a painter with works hanging in the National Gallery of Ireland, but she's changed direction in recent years.
My work has really changed. I was doing portraits and I was doing portrait commissions, and I found I needed to stop doing that. Even though there could be good money in them, to me that wasn't worth the exchange. 4 years ago, I decided to get out of Dublin. I moved here to the Dingle Peninsula, which is on the westernmost part of Europe. I wanted to develop more of my landscape work, and I found that this place I was really able to do that. I feel I've been out on a limb with my landscapes, and I had neglected my portrait work. I'm at a point where I want to bring the figure back in. In that sense, that's why I'm jumping back into it.
And he's emerging very nicely,
he's
isn't
sort
he?
of emerging.
You're
He's in
getting the
there.
sort of soulfulness of him. He's very thoughtful, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's a very good model.
And he's very good, you know, he's great.
Derek started the day frenetically, applying paint straight onto the canvas. But as the competition draws to a close, his energy appears to be waning.
So I can see you're just trying to get a bit of distance from the work as well. It's quite hard here, isn't it, to sort of go away and come back with fresh eyes?
Yeah, it's... I've been concentrating all day now, and so quite tired at this stage now.
But are you happy with the way it's going on the whole now? I mean, are you happy with the composition and stuff, or would you...
I'm happy with the composition. I'm not going to change it now. It's hardly going to change at this stage. There are a few areas I still need to work on, just highlights and that sort of thing, just to bring the whole thing to life.
How far off do you think you are from finishing? Do you think you're going to be fine within the time?
About 20 minutes, I'd say.
20 minutes, so you can afford to take a little bit of a break.
I think so, yeah.
So we're on the edge of the action. The end is nigh. If you weren't here, if you just turned up at the very end of the contest and I showed you the paintings and you made the decision, would it be different from being here and seeing what happened and seeing the drama and the story of each?
I mean, the journey throughout the day is absolutely fascinating. It's a real privilege, and you feel a bit terrified for them. You're really on that kind of roller coaster with them.
But do you think you take that into account when you look at the final?
No,
I don't think you do, because actually I don't remember what they looked like this morning.
I think you put it to one side.
Yeah.
I think you understand about the story, but you put it to one side, because I think we're also thinking about what they're going to go on to do if they win. So you're looking for a sense of someone who can deliver that big, quite big prize at the end. So we'll have to see where we end up today.
Time is nearly up.
Yeah.
Artists, you have 10 minutes left.
No two artists have followed the same process here today, but all have risen to the challenge of creating a portrait in 4 hours. We are moments away from finding out who has done enough to convince the judges of their talent.
Artists, can you put down your brushes and paints? Your time is up.
Hard to know how to rate oneself, but I would know for again that was an awkward pose to keep up.
Before our judges select their shortlist, each sitter is given a chance to choose their favourite painting to take home with them.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
It's completely different style.
I love that. And watching you paint is just like, you know, you go at those canvases. And I love that. I love seeing lots of paint.
It's a very, very, very hard choice, but I think for the over attention to detail, it has to go to this guy right here. It's actually...
I think this one.
This one?
Yeah.
There you go, Philip. You've pleased your
Thank
sitter.
you.
Did I please you?
Yes, you have.
There was a point, actually, during the painting process where David said, you know you have to please me because I get to choose. And it stuck in my head that that's actually what you have to do. So I kind of thought, I have to try and please him. And in the end, I did, so that was really good.
For me, the most exciting one that kind of captured the pose and was done under an extraordinary circumstance is Kyla's second.
Right. Well done, Kyla.
I just adore painting, so this is heaven for me. And for my money, that's one of the nicest bits of painting that got done here in this hall today. She's a great freedom of brushwork in it. Maybe it's because she was in a hurry as well and it suited her, and I thought the result was really exciting.
It's now time for the judges to examine all 21 of the paintings, collages and drawings created here today.
Niall, it took some time to get going, but then it sort of emerged, sort of perfectly formed, and I think you've caught it fantastically.
Thanks.
And it's a very strong painting. Well done.
Thanks again. Just glad it's done and dusted and relieved, and, you know, it went well, and it was just really nice to kind of see everyone appreciate it and enjoy looking at it and all of that.
Philip, I love the sense of imagination and fun that you've injected into this painting. It's a great portrait, there's an expression there, but there's also a good story, the sense that he's lost in the book, maybe in the chairs dwarfing him.
He was such a good setter.
He was.
Such a good actor, too.
And he loved it.
That was wonderful.
Yeah. And Kyla, you had that lovely sort of freshness and looseness that you managed to keep in the painting, having spent some time really getting to know that face, working in pastels. So well done getting both done as well.
I think I definitely did feel as if I achieved a certain standard within myself, and I was thrilled that Pauline chose one of my paintings.
Hi, Derek. I hope you had it looks like you've had a good day. Every time I came around, it was a joy to see you really engrossed in your job. I thought it was fantastic.
Good fun.
It was good fun. Well, I could tell.
Very draining. I found the whole thing very tiring, and just the concentration and all that sort of thing.
Thank you, artists. Can you now please leave the room while the judges choose their shortlist?
I think what potentially she has done is paint David a couple of years older, or paint a side of him which is more mature.
Given that he was going for such a strong likeness,
yeah,
you know, there was something that wasn't quite sitting right in that top section of the head. I love the wateriness of it too.
I don't like its chalkiness.
It's not my sort of painting, but I thought that it was great to see something so different in the room.
And I came across it. It was like something very different and very powerful.
The judges have chosen a shortlist of 3 artists. So when I say your name, can you please step forward? Maeve McCarthy. Selena Mowat. And Cole Casey.
The rest of the artists are invited to stay on and see who wins today, but Derek's had enough.
Congratulations on getting this far.
I'm very frustrated about the whole experience, to be honest with you. 10 hours of human bodily effort into the portrait, and what do I get for it? 0.
As Derek disappears into the sunset, Philip is more philosophical about the experience.
I'm more tired than disappointed at the moment. I'm exhausted. It's a very tired... The concentration is just the worst. But, yeah, it's a great shortlist. All good paintings.
Selena, you got an amazing likeness, but much more than that, the sort of the character really coming through. I mean, is that part of the technique with the blue that you start with in that way?
Yeah, it was, because it was Mrs. Doyle from Father Ted. I associated her with being quite a warm character, so I thought if I started with a cool under layer, I could build on that and keep the layer kind of underneath to work back into later.
Right, well, it certainly worked, definitely.
I used the word minimalism. I was told it's actually economy. So the economy in this painting is just beautifully balanced. And I was quite interested, do you always work like you started here with lots of drawings, trying to find out the perfect balance?
I suppose it's composition. I find very important that your eye is drawn into the most important bit, you know.
Yeah.
So...
Well done. It's nicely balanced. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Cole, this is a real jewel of a painting. I actually thought it really worked for me when you worked out the weight on that arm. Do you always work small?
If I'm doing a 4-hour painting, I'll work small because I'll get it finished, you know. I'd work if I'm in the studio and I've got weeks to work on something, you know, I can work to whatever size. Usually work about that sort of size.
Oh, okay. So we're not talking massive.
No, not massive.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The smaller end of the scale, yeah.
The final 3 are asked to withdraw while the judges discuss their portraits. They will be judging today's paintings alongside our artists' self-portraits.
So I think we've done really well. I think there's a really nice bunch of finalists here.
Nice group. Yeah, really good-looking set, actually. They each bring something really different.
I worry about this one, which I love, and I love her self-portrait, but it's sort of... It feels like less every time I look at it.
It is a bit tentative.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of... You know, you could accuse I don't know, Bonar have been tentative. That's
Yeah.
part of it, the singing of the colours. You don't want to be too heavy on.
I think it's a fantastic portrait, and I think in terms of capturing something about Bizzle and not making him...
capture something about him, doesn't
He
it?
does,
It's a
really
really-
does, and he doesn't look like a caricature. I mean, that's a wild shirt, you know, that's a wild necklace, and he just looks like the man. He looks awesome.
There's very little there, and it's all sings, and that's quite a skill, not to put everything in.
That portrait only emerged in the very last part of the day.
It's still very unresolved for me in certain areas.
I mean, you know, compared to these two, you would argue this is the most resolved of them all.
Can't get over the likeness, though.
Yeah.
To get that likeness without being literal, I think that's
Yeah.
what's really special, isn't it?
It's as if she knew her. We're looking for a winner here and a real contender, and actually I feel like if we gave her more time, that we could see something quite spectacular.
Well, you think about her self-portrait. That was very, very accomplished.
Yeah.
The judges have reached their decision. The winner of the Dublin Heat of Sky Arts Portrait Artist of the Year is... Selena Mowat.
Commiserations to Maeve and Co. But congratulations to them too for doing so well.
It's so exciting. You know, I mean, obviously she's a wonderful artist and she nailed it from the moment we started, actually. And kind of audacious that she chose to just use basically one colour. It all worked so fabulously. So I hope now that, I hope she goes on to win the whole thing.
It's amazing. I can't actually believe it. It's great.
I'm delighted for her, you know. Yeah, I had a great day.
I was happy with my work, so I'm pleased. Yeah, and I'm pleased for Selena. It's great for her. You know,
The other two artists were amazing painters, and you know, you come this far and you don't really expect to win anything. So no, it's absolute over the moon. Happy and joyous and slightly shocked. So great.
Next week's Portrait Festival will be in Cardiff, where another group of artists will be competing for the chance to become Sky Arts Portrait Artist of the Year. Goodbye. So, Dublin winner Selena Mowat, London winner Louis Morris, and Glasgow winner Ewan McClure are our first three finalists competing for the title of Sky Arts Portrait Artist of the Year. Next week, we'll be in Cardiff, where our artists will be painting rugby player Gavin Henson, war hero Simon Weston, and Lucian Freud's most famous muse, Sue Tilley.